Alright, hey guys, welcome back once again to another Blender live stream. I'm your host Morgan Ozpin, and today, after about 2 weeks of not streaming, I'm finally back to doing stuff on this channel once again. Yippee! But anyways, hey guys, what's up? I'm back once again. We are gonna be doing a bunch of respectable shit on YouTube, wherein I sort of animate this one scene of this guy trying to recover from having his nuts just getting punched in, the groin. So we're gonna be doing this. We're gonna make the outlines for this little scene, as well as color it, I think, if we have enough time. Hold on, let me just check if my live stream is working well. Alright, good. Anyway, so since it's been a long time since I've updated you guys on this animation, or I've updated you guys on anything, let me just show you guys what I've been working on for the past few weeks. Starting off with this animation right here. I have animated this guy. Hold on, let me just delete some of these scenes here. I'm thinking of maybe publishing this on to Ko-Fi, the newly created scenes I've made since I've last streamed this to you guys, but I animated this. Let me just freaking get this out of the way. Switch this to rendered mode. Animated this little funny scene over here of this guy getting his nuts punched. As well as this other scene right here. I don't know if this is something I've told you guys. So this is a scene after, before he gets his nuts punched. It's just him. Sorry, it's a smear frame. It's just him like trying to recover from, getting curb stomped and forget what's it. Getting curb stomped and actually spearing himself towards the corner. And then I think, did I show you guys this? Hold on. It was just like the last scene I showed you guys on stream. Not sure. Also animated this here. Just very simple B-shot scenes. So if you were to play those scenes in consecutive order, we are now at this part of the animation, wherein it is now him after he punched the guy in the nuts, and he is now gonna try to stand up while this guy is shaking his legs because his nuts got punched. All the while, there is a chair that just dropped onto the mat. The same chair that he has been carrying since the start of since after the pin of him getting curb stomped. So we're just gonna animate this little simple scene. I'm not sure if I'm gonna finish it. But with that being said, let's just jump into it, shall we? Let me see. So I think I animated everything now that has everything to do with this one wrestler here. So we're gonna make the outline for this other wrestler right here. Okay, so let me just switch this to here. Get rid of some collections here, and let's go ahead and select the grease pencil object. How do I get this out of the? No, there we go. draw mode. There we go. Alright, let's just freaking trace the fic out of this model I just made. I don't know if the people watching this are new or old viewers of mine, but anyway, this to new viewers out there, hey, what's up? This is I'm making like a wrestling animation using Blender's grease pencil tools to make this wacky little match between a cowboy themed wrestler and a wrestler inspired by, you know, some of the people under Lucha Underground, which is this wrestling promotion that is not the WWE. And I'm making a wrestling animation out of that. But if you're, in case you're wondering if that's all the things I've been doing on this channel, that's really not really always the case. I also do a bunch of 3D modeling streams in Blender, which isn't this specifically, but you know, me making actual, you know, assets, 3D assets instead of these 2D looking animations. And I also occasionally do some music, though I think I stopped making music since December of last year. And I also do a bunch of coding streams wherein I try to update a website I've been making for my channel, the Vanilla Log. I make blog posts there, music, art, and occasionally animations. And I think you can pretty much know why I don't really post that much animations, because animation is really a long process. In fact, it's so long that my last animation, the one with you know, with the Samus and Ridley in it, that fan animation I made of Metroid, that took, I think, since that took since I think September of last year to make. From making the Samus Aran model to making the whole ass Ridley model to, you know, finally getting, you know, all the scenes to be made for that animation, and you know, getting all of it to get animated. That janky animation really took a while for me to create. So I'm glad it's doing much better than my past few uploads. So thank you guys for supporting me on that animation. But anyway, now that we're done with that, we are now focusing heavily on completing this animation, which is different from that animation. This is going to be a thing wherein this time I tried to go for like a 2.5D look onto my style, which I don't really do that much. I think the only other time I did this was through a short film I made called Candlewick. So this is gonna be like my second grease pencil animation, and I think it's gonna be much better than, well, in terms of animation, it'll be much better than the animation I did for that film, because it's color now and more action, because it's a wrestling film. But yeah, that's what I've been doing. Now, that's sort of things I've been doing since I've last streamed. I don't know if you guys would notice this, but there's like I think there's like a distance between me and my mic right now, based on this what you're hearing right now, and that's not a coincidence, mind you. Reason why I think there's now like a distance between me and my mic is because right now I am standing up with my 2 feet. That's right, me, Morgan Ozpin, has 2 feet, which I don't really show you guys on stream, but yeah, I have 2 feet, and I'm using it to stand up straight while I am working right now on this grease pencil animation. And I'm able to accomplish this because right now I've converted a table I found in the house into a standing desk for my computer. If you guys have watched like this one little video of mine wherein I show off my computer setup, you would have known that I think you would have known that for like the longest time I usually sit down using this janky looking wooden chair for my streams. And you know, when I'm working, I would just sit down with this, you know, wooden chair that I have at the house. But ever since I've watched this guy named Josh Drive Hayes on YouTube just a few weeks ago, and I saw him like talk about the improvements to his health when switching to a standing desk on his stream. I thought to myself, wow, I should probably try to do something like that on my own PC setup. So I pretty much, well, not only did I like rearrange my whole computer setup here, I've also rearranged like a few bits of my room because the standing desk that I have right now is like, it's too big that I had to like reorganize the things I have in my room right now. So that includes me sorting out some boxes, moving a whole ass TV, because I don't know why, but for some reason the family TV is just inside my room for some reason, instead of in the living room or dining room. And I also moved this this sewing machine that I didn't know was in my room until I started reorganizing my stuff. And it's like a sewing machine that was once owned by my Lola, my grandma. So you know, I didn't want to get rid of it, so I just placed it actually just right next to me. is the sewing machine that my grandma once used. And the reason why I'm keeping it is because it really works well as a good secondary table for me. You know, it works as a it's the kind of sewing machine where it's like hidden inside like a box. So in a way, it sort of functions like a secondary lamp table for me. I can put stuff on top of it to, you know, like my bags and stuff for going to school. And also, I've been working on another, aside from converting my setup into a standing desk setup, I've also started what's it called? I've also started making another video, guys. Woo! I know you guys really like whenever I try to, because I noticed that for when it comes to videos, I think the ones that perform well are the ones where I pretty much just teach you guys how to do stuff in front of the camera, like my VTuber, my 3D VTuber model video, and even like my DAW music video, wherein I teach you guys how to make DAW music. Those do like extremely well in terms of how many likes it gets. So for the past, I think, for the past few days, ever since last week, I started working on a video about computer programming. That's right, we are You remember those streams wherein I, show you guys how I make my website from start to finish? Well, we are now turning that into a For Dummies video. Well, not really a For Dummies video, but more so a video wherein I tell you guys the story of how I got into computer programming as a student in dentistry. Yeah, because looking back, I noticed how wacky it is that I was able to get into computer programming in the first place, because I didn't even have any interest in terms of I don't have any interests or any close interest in terms of doing any computer programming at all. So this is gonna be like, I guess, wild for me to say that I eventually did get into computer programming in just the most ridiculous way possible. Just to give you guys an idea of how this video will start off. I'm gonna be talking like 5 minutes into the video. I'm gonna be talking about how I stumbled upon getting myself a second degree at Harvard. It's wild, Yeah, we're gonna be talking about, I guess, the CS50 course for that video, about video games, video game development, about making tools for Blender via the Blender Python API, and of course we're gonna talk about making websites on that video in just under 30 minutes, which is pretty cool. I don't want to waste your guys' time whenever I make these types of videos. I'm more so a guy that believes on quality over quantity. So I try to keep my videos precise and to the point. Unless it's a time-lapse video, which in that case I pretty much show you guys everything in a Blender time-lapse video. But other than that, if it's gonna be like a For Dummies type of video, I'm gonna be I'm gonna make sure that everything is concise and to the point and dense with information. So for this new video, I'm gonna be diving deep into my first few impressions of video game development, on web development, in making tools in Blender via the Blender Python API. We got a lot of shit to talk about for this video, so buckle up. This is gonna be a very dense video that I'll be posting, I think, next week on my Ko-Fi page, and then maybe the following week onto YouTube. Anyway, now that I feel like I've already exhausted the well, in terms of my skills right now, I think I've already exhausted the ability for me to make these types of videos, because you guys have been following my live streams. I pretty much based my For Dummies videos on what I've been doing in my live streams, because before the 3D VTuber model video, I started off with doing a bunch of live streams and VODs on the Vanilla Log, wherein I make first like a concept art of the VTuber model in question and the following 3D model that comes after it. And with the craft and making internet animation, it's pretty much based on me live streaming a bunch of stuff in my YouTube channel, where I show you guys everything I've been doing for my animations, from the Donkey Kong video to I think even the Feathers and Snowflake video, to even that one video wherein I make an animation about how ass artificial intelligence could be. So yeah, all of my freaking animations is just based on animations. Those those videos are just based on the things that I've been already been doing on my YouTube channel, via my live streams. So now, I think I'm pretty much exhausted what I could talk about in these types of videos, because I mean I redid computer coding for my streams, music, 3D art and animations, 2D VTuber making, 3D VTuber making. Like, what else should I talk about in terms of these types of videos? There is this one live stream idea I have in mind that can maybe turn into a For Dummies video at one point. And it's maybe like a video about me teaching myself Cantonese. Because in just like maybe I think by the end of the year, I think my family is planning on going on a vacation wherein it is required for me to learn a little bit of Cantonese. So I thought, yo, if I'm gonna learn Cantonese, might as well make a video about it. Yeah, that's right, I'm really into the YouTube mindset now in terms of what the things in terms of the things that I want to learn in my life. If it ain't gonna be shown on camera, I'm not gonna freaking do it. But jokes aside, I'm thinking of maybe doing a Duolingo stream at some point where I just teach myself Cantonese and maybe make a video about it. And I already have like this good hook to the video wherein I say, yo, look guys, here's the situation. I have like 10 months to learn Cantonese before I go on this trip somewhere, and here is how I am able to learn Cantonese in just 10 months. So buckle up. This is gonna be Cantonese for Dummies. Something like that. Something like that would be like the intro to that video, I guess. But I'm not making any promises in that video as of now, because I still haven't, did anything for that type of idea yet. Okay, hold on. Let me just see how this looks so far. Alright, let's see. No, let me just drink some water. Anyway. I got this guy shaking his knees now. Guess it's time for him. Hold on. Is he gonna... Okay. He's going up. He is thrusting back here, then he's thrusting forward. Okay, maybe I'll make one frame over here. Just a very slight change of his pose here. I think it's necessary for me to draw this, since I think it's gonna be like the last frame where he's thrust forward before immediately snapping to a position wherein he is positioned at the back. Then after this, we can just repeat the frames I've already created for the rest of the sequence here. Sorry guys. Excuse me. I just had a very delicious lunch today, wherein I eat pancakes and fish and rice for breakfast. Props to my mom for knowing how to cook the best fried bangus for breakfast. can I just say, freaking dental college was a blast for me these past few days. So to give you guys some context, I sometimes, you know, aside from doing these streams during my off time, I you know, attend a college wherein they teach me how to do all these dental related stuff for my learning. AKA I'm part of like a dental course right now. And during this one class of mine, during a dental materials class of mine, we have this teacher who is just, you know, I wouldn't say he's a bad teacher, but this teacher didn't really know how to use technology that well. So then this teacher came up to the class once, and she said to all of us in front of the class, "Hey, yo, guys, listen up. For our next class, we're going to have it be taken online." And the gears started turning in my head, and I thought to myself, a teacher who doesn't know how to you know, open a smartphone is now telling us that he wants us to have a class online? Oh shit, that's gonna be one entertaining episode. So I thought to myself, okay, there's gonna be one heck of a doozy. And I was right for the first few minutes of this class. Because before the class could even start, my teacher messaged like the class representative of ours, asking all of us, "Yo, where the frick are you guys?" And the class representative was like, "Teach, you didn't send us a link yet." And she was like, "Oh, you didn't send the link to I didn't send the link to the freaking class yet? What are you talking about?" And you know, because usually whenever we start an online class, we have this, you know, website that we go to wherein we expect a teacher to send us a link to the class. And I was like, "Yo, where's the link?" And it turns out I think the teacher must have pressed the wrong buttons when trying to send the link, and even up to the very start of the class, in terms of the schedule, we still didn't get the link. So I was like, God damn it, this is gonna be a freaking pain in the ass to get through. But eventually the teacher did finally find the button to send us the link to the class, and I was like, okay, finally we can, you know, do some learning, do some dental material stuff. We might talk about maybe, I don't know, zinc oxide eugenol cement, or maybe we can talk about zinc oxide eugenol paste, or some impression materials, while looking at some nice looking at some nice PowerPoint presentation. And then once the class started, you know, the teacher did the usual thing wherein, you know, he tries to go for the roll call attendance. And, you know, I'm about to get ready to get some learning done. But then I noticed that there is a problem in terms of how this class was scheduled. Because this is during a time when I think the school was having this big ass celebration, and one of my classmates was like in charge of being part of this of this big event in said celebration when he sings in front of the entire audience. And to prepare for that, the college asked him specifically to attend this this practice session with these other people that also volunteered to be a part of this celebration. And there was also this one guy that that volunteered to be an usher to this one celebration. So there was like a little bit of conflict in schedule in terms of the classmates who are gonna be a part of this celebration. And you know, one of these guys was pretty cool with me in terms of, you know, what he's doing. So I was like asking myself, wait, are these guys gonna attend? And you know, most of my classmates in this class was also asking the same thing. And I think our representative for the class also asked the teacher if, you know, they can be excused for today. And my dental math professor was like, no, they're not excused. And I'm like, what? What do you mean they're not excused? They're at least, you know, I know there are some classmates out there that you know, that have like the most ridiculous of reasons, but these guys are basically like helping the university do some shit, you know, get some shit done, and you award them by what's it called? Declaring them absent throughout the entire class. That's bad. That's bad behavior, I must say. And just to give you guys some context, attendance does like have a big effect in terms of the final grade you have for this class. So if you're gonna, you know, attend if you just you know, attend a class of this one teacher, it would heavily contribute to your final grade by the end of the semester. So the fact that the teacher is still counting this as a real class feels like you know, a little bit of a cheating thing. It's like, you know, there's a little bit of some cheating going on here. And not to mention, this class is, you know, still very important to us because my teacher is gonna start teaching us some real shit. So I was like prepared to see what this teacher is gonna teach us. But then I started to see that there's something sketchy going on in this class, because as I'm going through this lecture, I noticed that the teacher didn't open his screen at all. And I'm like, where the frick is the PowerPoint presentation? Because, you know, usually when we do an online class, we have a PowerPoint presentation to look at while the teacher discusses on all of the things that she wants to discuss. But it turns out this teacher was not into that kind of teaching methodology, and, you know, she truly believes that that for us to learn, we just need to listen to her speak for 3 hours straight. Did I mention that this class started at around 7 o'clock in the evening, and we ended this class by around 10 o'clock, and that feels like a violation against the Geneva Conventions. You know, that feels like a war crime, I must say. The fact that this teacher decided to start this class late at night, and she didn't even bother to open up a PowerPoint presentation and just force us to like listen to her drowning out on this oral presentation she has created that I don't think she even remembered. Although all my classmates are struggling to attend this class because because they are, you know, volunteering in some university work outside of class. And I'm like, I'm not having any of this. So what I did, just to help these guys out, the guys that are not available, what I did was I opened up OBS because of course I know how to use OBS. I mean, how am I able to, you know, live stream right now? So I opened up OBS. I switched to a private account. Of course, I didn't stream it on my YouTube channel right here. I switched to a private account. I made an unlisted live stream, and I posted the live stream link to my group chat. And I told people, yo, I ain't having this bullshit. Do you guys wanna, you know, do you guys want me to, you know, just do a live stream on this class? You know, because I think this would really help you guys if you're not really into the kinds of classes where we just listen to a teacher without any visual aid. And everyone was like, yes, Morgan, please help us. And I'm like, yes, okay, cool. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this live stream link. I'm gonna do this live stream, and you guys can watch the VOD afterwards. And everyone loved it. Like I don't know if you guys, if Filipinos just don't know how to open up OBS and record their screen. But they thought of my action as some sort of, I don't know, some gift from God or something, or that I've like or that I've like discovered electricity for the first time or something, because they were so grateful that I did that. They did that one act of kindness. I know I'm saying that's a one act of kindness, but really I just pretty much just did the usual thing that I've been doing since the start of this channel, which is, you know, live stream whatever I'm doing, but in an unlisted stream. And they freaking loved it. Like, what the frick? They freaking, I don't know, in the group chat they were high-fiving me, going, yo, Morgan, you're freaking savior, man. Thank you for doing this shit and stuff. And yeah, they pretty much loved it. I don't think I told the teacher that I was recording it. But if I gotta say though, if you're gonna have these types of online classes wherein the odds are against the student's favor, I think it's fair for me to, you know, do these types of streams. And heck, these streams are even privated and not available for everyone, so no one's getting doxxed. So everyone is safe, and everything is still very moral in the end, I guess. And frick, guys, oh my god, if you're gonna have a tuition fee that goes beyond that goes around the 50,000 peso mark, because, you know, that's my tuition fee for, I think, for this semester, you might as well expect a class that's worth 50,000 pesos, you know. So so I'm pretty much, you know, carrying the university's back by giving these students some well-deserved resources to use for the time being. So yeah, that's I guess all I have to say with when it comes to my college shit. Anyways, it's pretty fun. Anyway, I don't really have that. I don't think I have any. In the end, I don't think I really have any gripes to this professor. I mean, the professor is really sweet to me. And, you know, I sort of feel bad sometimes with these, you know, these types of professors wherein they feel like they're out of the loop in terms of what's happening in the current age of the internet, wherein people are now doing these PowerPoint presentations and doing, you know, these YouTube videos for their classes. And meanwhile, these professors are still living in the 70s, and, you know, I sort of feel bad that you know, that these professors, they still, you know, try to cling to a simpler time wherein it is acceptable for students to just sit in class and take down notes using a real pen and paper to record their lectures and shit. And heck, you know, this one professor was even like my was surprisingly my mom's professor before I even attended this university. She was my mom. Because you know my mom is also a dentist, and she attended the same university as me when she was a little lass. She was also my mom's professor back in the 90s. So I sort of feel this, I know, this family connection with her at the end of the day. So, but then again though, I you know, I don't really agree with her teaching style, so I decided to like maybe help her out and try to give these students the much deserved teaching methodology that's more acceptable in the 21st century. And I showed them the VOD in the end of the day. You know, while I was making the video about computer programming, I went on a rant about what I dislike about college, because I will eventually complain about college in one of in my videos at some point. But after, you know, reflecting on all of my complaints I have with college, I came to realize that, you know, college is at least dental college isn't really a much of a waste of time as most people think it is. I mean, sure, we have these minor subjects that is totally unacceptable for a dental course. Like we had like a class wherein we talked about art appreciation and philosophy, and I'm like, teacher, what does this have to do with dentistry? I want to learn about teeth and stuff. Why are we talking about Rene Descartes and his famous quote, "I think, therefore I am"? You know, it's don't we have people like Philosophy Tube on YouTube to talk to us about philosophy? And don't we have the Nerd Writer that does more entertaining video essays about recent movies and shit? Like those videos pretty much teaches us all that we need to know about art appreciation philosophy, and I don't need to spend a little, you know, a dime out of my wallet to get these videos, to get these lessons out from someone. And then there's also that one mandatory course for all colleges, wherein we pretty much talk about this one person in the Philippines named Jose Rizal. I was about to go on a rant about his complete name, but then I remembered that I don't really remember his full name at all. And this, you know, this class, Rizal, isn't really a very important class to begin with at the end, at the grand scheme of things, in terms of, you know, a dental course. But I did like but my professor for that class knew how useless it is for us to learn this types of classes. So for our final exam, he told us to instead do a karaoke session with him in the classroom, and whoever gets to sing gets a great I mean, a 100% grade from him, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. At least this professor knows that this is a waste of time. So might as well have fun with it. But I came to realize there is still some things to learn from college. Aside from those things, like for example, we got a dental materials class, which I think wouldn't be possible if I didn't take college at all. And then of course we have all of our lab subjects that wherein we actually get exposed to all of these equipment, these materials, and these patients that we won't be able to get if we don't take a college course. Like, these are things that you just cannot do if you by just looking up an online course in Google or YouTube. Like, these things are actually useful to people, and the supervision that they provide you in college is really necessary for you, especially in a medical course like mine, because you don't want to accidentally injure your patient while you're doing oral surgery in front of them. Like, you need like an actual professional to with you for that, and that's the one thing that that dental college provides for most people, which is great. So I guess the lesson I've learned after making these rants about college is that I really need to learn when to shut my mouth, because I think dental college isn't really a black and white situation where it's purely evil or purely good. There are things to hate about dental college, but there's also things to like about dental college, and it turns out there are more things to like about it than there's more things to hate about it. And it's only through reflecting on my complaints that I learn to understand how college works, I guess. Here I guess the most important things to learn about when it comes to college degrees. The first most important thing that they provide you with is basically the social skills, the ability for you to interact with other people in the industry. And the second most important thing that they teach you in college is how to is actually the more practical and applicable aspects of your course. Like, for example, in a dental course, they will teach you about how to handle people who have like these oral pathologies like cancrum oris or I'm forgetting the name of the freaking disease, or actinomycosis. They will also teach you how to handle a cavity preparation in case your patient is suffering from something called dental caries. All those little things. And all those little things are what's really important when it comes to dental college. And if we focus more on that and less on the many things that they waste your time on, you'll start to realize that it's not really that much of a waste of time in reality. Although I gotta say though, why is it that my tuition fee is 50,000 pesos? Why is my tuition fee 50,000 pesos? Like, I would get it if my course or the classes I'm taking if a majority of my classes consists of me being in the clinic itself and working on these expensive equipment. But for most of my classes, especially in my first few years, I'm just sitting down with my art teacher talking about, I don't know, the Mona Lisa or something. And I'm like, what the? This doesn't feel like 50,000 pesos. But anyway, other than that, that's you know, college, you know, not really that much of a waste of time. At the end of the day. Anyway, let's continue on this, making some of these freaking strokes. Okay, there we go. Let's see. Alright, where does this go now? Okay, let's make another frame here. Let's trace the shit out of it. And I think I need to freaking move my legs. Because one thing Josh Drive Hayes has never really talked about when it comes to owning a standing desk is that it does really hurt your legs if you don't move it that much whenever you use the standing desk. So might as well start walking around. Oh, if I start walking around here, I guess that's hard for me to get these strokes finished. Alright, there we go. Alright. I just have to freaking check on my live stream real quick before I continue on here. Okay. Oh. By the way, speaking of that one classmate of mine that wasn't able to attend the class due to his performance in a celebration in the university, I did eventually attend this once-in-a-lifetime celebration in my uni. It happened during a Friday night, and I didn't have any classes that day, and I was tempted to just, you know, sit this one out and stay at home. But I thought to myself, yo, I do want to, you know, support my classmate who was about to sing, and yo, there's a battle of the bands. I like music. I make music. I want to see what this big gas celebration is all about. And turns out this celebration is a party, well, not a party, but a ceremony that celebrates 100 years of this college teaching dentistry in front of so many past students and teachers from 1924 to 2024, and my mind just couldn't boggle how old this university really is. Oh my god. It's a fun fact learning this after I attended this event, that my university has been teaching dentistry since 1924. That's, well, not 1924, 1925, sorry. I forgot that it's the year of our Lord 2025, guys. But yeah, 1925, that's so long. That's so long ago. What were people doing back in the day? Were people just pulling teeth back then? Or were they inserting mercury into cavities of patients' mouths? Like, I heard that was a thing back in the day. You know, people inserting mercury, poisonous, deadly mercury, to fill up people's holes in their mouth. But yeah, a celebration to celebrate 100 years of dentistry, and and to celebrate this once in a lifetime event, they pretty much set up all of these freaking cameras around the venue. They pulled out the red carpet, guys. Like I would have thought that this was the Oscars if not for the big ass banner that said, "Hey guys, this a celebration that celebrates 100 years of dentistry," and not a award ceremony for whoever gets the best movie or something. Like, this didn't feel like something that came out of the dental community. It feels like something that came out of the, I don't know, the streamer awards community, the Twitch community. You know, the type of people that knows their way around, you know, doing live streams and shit. So this freaking party was freaking so big. To the point that I was so shocked when they started calling out the important attendees for this event, and to call these important attendees, they walked this freaking red carpet in between the crowd. And one of these important attendees was my dental materials professor, and I was like, "Yo, teacher, yo, what's up? What the frick? What the?" This freaking teacher was dripping, man. This was dripped out. I mean, dripped out in all these freaking fancy gowns and shit. And I'm like, what the fuck? That's my dental materials professor. Why are they dressed up like some A-list celebrity or something? It's freaking wild, man. I didn't know how the frick they are able to pull this off in a dental course like this. Maybe that's where my freaking tuition fee money went to. But yeah, it was a very fun event. And the only thing that reminded me that this was a dental community event was this one section of the venue was dedicated to a bunch of these dental suppliers selling some dental equipment and materials like these face bows and these articulators, and I'm like, okay, this makes more sense for a community-wide event in the dental side of things than whatever this thing is in the grand stage. And this freaking event went wild. Like, as an opening act, they did this entire ass play to celebrate, you know, being Filipino. Because, hey, this freaking college is very patriotic. And hey, I was also feeling patriotic as well when they freaking started doing a play about the entire history of the Philippines, from the events that happened in Mactan and our first ever national hero, Lapu-Lapu, to Jose Rizal getting shot in the back, to, I don't know, this one event wherein an American shot a Filipino on top of a bridge. Like, my god, I felt so patriotic back in that when watching this play. But after that, they got into this entire, I didn't know if it was a singing competition or a singing event consisting of 5 people, 5 or 6, I forgot. Anyway, this event had my classmate in it, so that was like one reason why I remember this one section of the event. It was pretty cool. It was pretty weird. pretty out of this world to see my classmate be dressed in a barong Tagalog, which is this fancy dress we have in the Philippines. Not fancy dress, I mean a fancy suit we have in the Philippines. And I'm like, yo, that guy is my freaking dent mat classmate. Yo, what's up, man? What the frick? I also saw some of my other classmates from my other classes back in the day. Like I stumbled upon this one guy I met during one of my zoology classes, and I'm like, yo dude, what's up? And he said, hey, yo, what's up, Morgan? I'm now a coordinator for this event. I'm like, what? Like, what, you're a coordinator? Like, the last time I freaking saw you, you were struggling on the differences between what's in the animal cell, what's in an animal cell, and what's in a plant cell. And it's like, yeah, it's you know, times changed. I'm now really into these university-wide events, and now I'm a coordinator. Like, what the fuck? this guy, man, it's impressive. This guy's really impressive. The sheer will of this guy to this 180-degree turn in terms of what I expect from him. Like, what the frick? Everything about this event was so wild. And then there was the Battle of the Bands event that I didn't really see that much. I only saw like clips of it on my college's community page on Facebook. It was pretty wild. What the frick? I had to wonder if my freaking teachers from the front seat were digging it. Because I don't think that these are the types of teachers that would really stay for a Battle of the Bands event. But eventually I did leave the event early because I just thought that it would be difficult for me to get back home if I were to stay a little longer. But in the end, I really loved the event. It was so wild. It was so out of this world. I wouldn't mind if my my tuition fee is spent on this. if it takes 50 grand to make a freaking event like this, I'm all for it, I guess. It's wild. Ugh. Alright, let me just do this. Okay. So after this I might as well duplicate the frames I've just created, because this is just like, I think, a looping action here for my one guy. Let's see if I completed every stroke here I need to stroke. Anyway, I'm learning more and more about my classmates in dental school. Tell you what, I'm gonna tell you guys of this one wild story I had with this one classmate of mine. We were just dismissed from, once again, a dent math class. And my classmate was getting a little bit giddy, and I asked him, "Yo, what are you getting all giddy about?" And he said, "Yo, dude, do you know this meme?" And he showed me his phone. And I looked at the meme, and I second guessed myself and thought, "Wait, is that the Anka dance that I saw in 2022?" And he's like, "Yeah, that's the Anka dance." I'm like, "Yo, what the fuck, man? How do you know about this the Anka dance? You know, if you guys don't know what the Anka dance is, it's a freaking, oh, by now it's already like an old Flash animation on Newgrounds that wherein this one character from Animal Crossing does this quote unquote dance in front of the villager from the same game. And she starts doing all these sexy poses and doing the Kama Sutra poses, and it's freaking not safe for work. And I asked my classmate, yo, how the fuck did you know this? And I'm like, nah, man, this is really good. And then he showed the. I mean, technically, it's not the Anka dance that he showed me, but a cosplayer was doing the Anka dance. But based on my guy's look on his face, he knew where the source of this clip comes from. So he was like, okay, you know about this meme. Hey dude, do you know this meme as well? He called out to another classmate of mine. And I'm like, no, we don't need this. We don't need this meme to be spread out around the freaking campus. This is a safe haven. We have, I don't know, we have children here. Well, not really children, but you know, we have innocent minds in this establishment. We don't need to spread this black magic in front of everyone else. So you showed this one classmate of mine the meme, the video, and he was like, I don't what is this? And it's like, yo, you don't know what this meme is? It's you freaking innocent mind. This is the Anka dance, and I'm freaking face palming so hard, cringing so hard. I don't need this guy to spread the word of the devil. But then this guy started to really look into the screen, as if he was so perplexed by the movements that is happening in front of the screen onto his eyes. And I'm like, yo, dude, yo, what's up? I started like snapping my fingers. Yo, what's up? Hey, dude, are you? Hey, come back to reality, man. This is not, what are you doing? And I was like, and then the guy shook his head. I'm like, oh wait, I didn't know what you guys are talking about. I'm like, dude, oh my god, this guy started gooning in front of us in this empty classroom. Like, what the frick, man? What the? Anyway, lesson for that one event: don't show porn or prawn in front of a bunch of Asian classmates of mine, or else they'll start to learn some very nasty shit. Shit that involves furries, Nintendo, and the Kama Sutra. I don't just don't show them those three things all at once, or else they're gonna do some very weird shit, I guess. Like showing me the Anka dance in front of during a time when that's not really appropriate, I guess. But to be real though, I that was like the most shocking event of the week for me. Like, this guy suddenly started showing me the Kama Sutra Animal Crossing version. But hey, it's that's college life, I guess. Oh wait, is there more shit here that I need to animate? God damn it. Okay, wait, hold on. Oh, never mind, I just need to duplicate this. And then this. Yeah, everything now seems to slot back into place. Okay, now I have a little bit of a problem here. I don't have an in-between for this type of... Okay, maybe just copy-paste this, I guess. There we go. So I think I need to think a little bit more in terms of how the animation would go from here. Let's see. How long have I been streaming right now? An hour? What the frick? I'm really feeling a bit tired here just by standing around. Hold on, let me just... I'm gonna pull up my chair real quick. Anyway, I've already like ran this morning, so I don't need the extra workout of me standing around. But it's helpful though. They do say that it does get your blood running when you're standing up instead of sitting down all day. Okay, there. I need an in-between for this. This is... Oh, it sort of fits the... It needs a good in-between frame. But this one though... Okay, I'll copy this. Okay, it seems to be a good frame. And then, okay, I'll copy this. Okay, let me see if everything here is making sense so far. Okay, so far it's pretty good. Let's put back all of the 3D models into here. That could be a good in between for this. Maybe this one. No, that feels too far. Maybe this one. Let me see. No, that's not it. Okay, how about this one? Okay, let's see. E7. Looks for this frame though. One. Let's see. Oh wow, that's actually perfect. Oh wait, no, this is already the... God damn it, I can't use this frame. Maybe this frame would work? Let me see. Okay, maybe if I switch the frames around here. Okay, I don't know if there's gonna be a efficient way for me to edit everything here. But it is working. Okay, when does he start? Okay, so somewhere around I think the 30 mark is when he starts dropping his hands Um. All right. Okay, wait. Let me see one more time. Oh no, this is the same frame. Never mind. Get rid of that. Okay. Okay. Alright, let's see this guy. Let's see this guy struggle a bit here. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. Okay, nice. Got the jerking movement created. I think it's thrusting movement, but more so is this guy's trying to rearrange his nuts, really. Okay. Let's now drink some water, because I'm now feeling a little bit parched here. By the way, guys, the weather in the Philippines has been wild this past few days. Because last week we were suffering from a very high heat wave. I'm talking temperatures that reached a critical limit of 46 degrees Celsius, was it? Yeah, 46 degrees Celsius. Or 46 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm forgetting. Hold on. Was it Celsius or Fahrenheit? I'm not sure, but yeah, we reached very dangerous levels of temperatures here. That my foreign classmates was like, "What the fuck, Morgan? What is happening in the Philippines right now? I feel like I'm gonna get cancer if I don't if I'm not, you know, careful whenever I go outside." I'm like, yeah, this is now a normal thing in this country, wherein we expect high heat waves during the end of the day. Thankfully, my college was grateful enough to give us the ability to throw away our uniforms for now and start wearing a bunch of more loose clothing that we scrounge up ourselves to mitigate the heat that's coursing through our bodies right now. So that's that. But then after a few... Hold on, do I have to animate this thing as well, don't I? And after a few days after the heat wave, I noticed that outside my window it started raining a little bit. I'm like, yo, finally the heat wave has died down and shit like that. You know, I thought that everything was gonna be fine, but then all of a sudden it started to rain more and more and more until whenever I open my window now, I see a flash freaking rain. So many droplets to a point that I could barely see the freaking house at the other end of the street. And you know, so in just a 1 week time span, my country experienced a heat wave and a strong wave of rain, I guess. It's wild. It's very wild here in the Philippines in terms of the weather. Hold on, let me just freaking rest my freaking voice because I feel like I'm starting to lose it. Okay, hold on. I'm just going to go to the washroom real quick. I don't know, maybe I can just work on the frame here first before I put the guys in the waiting screen as I go towards the restroom. Alright, let's do this real quickly. Anyway. But yeah, freaking weather here, really wild. Really wild indeed. Especially here in Manila for some reason. Already in Manila over these past few days. I know in other parts of the Philippines it's not really that extreme of a heat wave that they experience, but in Manila, my god, it's very hot. Very hot today. And I think we're experiencing another heat wave now, I think. Just based on my recent run this morning, I felt like something feels very hot in the air right now. But I sort of learned to get used to it because I barely use the air conditioner in my room. I guess back then I grew up with a broken air conditioner in my kid's bedroom. So for the majority of my life, I pretty much slept with no aircon in my quarters. So to mitigate that, I just had to, I just had to deal with it by, setting up an electric fan and letting that cool me for whenever I sleep. And even that doesn't help me during my first few nights without an aircon, because I remember I would always wake up with a huge pile of sweat in my mattress. It was very uncomfortable. But eventually I got used to it, and I think my body also got used to it, to a point that now if I were to sleep with an electric fan on, my body just thinks, well, screw it, I don't need to sweat through this. It's a normal thing for me, Morgan Ozpin. So that's why now I feel like whenever I enter an air-conditioned room, I would feel much colder than what anyone else would expect when entering an air-conditioned room, because I'm not used to the cold temperatures as much as other people here in the Philippines. Because if you have money, you would rather stay in a cold room than in a hot one, and that involves you forking up some money for an air conditioner, and air conditioners cost a lot of freaking money to set up, and also cannot forget the electric bill that comes with owning an air conditioner. So yeah, there's like a little bit of a requirement to meet in order to have an aircon in your house. But luckily for me, I don't need I've lived to a point that I don't need to have an aircon turned on every now and then. I guess the only time I do use my aircon now, since I've already moved places and have an aircon, the only time I now use an aircon is when I stream, because even if I myself am used to working in hot weather, my computer definitely isn't. You remember those times during my old streams when I would randomly just crash out? The reasons why that happened was because my computer just overheated and I had to freaking find a way for my computer to cool down, and that involved me buying up some fans for my computer to be placed underneath it. And now I'm in a place wherein I have the ability to have an air-conditioned room, which is cool. Very cool for me. And also, whenever I stream now, I also turn on the aircon, because I noticed that whenever I stream back in the day with an electric fan, the noise gets picked up by my microphone. So whenever I stream, I decided, yo, let me just turn on the fan, the air conditioner, and let that cool me down for majority of my streams. Doesn't say that I always use my electric fan whenever I stream back in the day. Sometimes I just deal with the fact that sometimes back in the day I just don't, you know, turn on anything at all to cool me down. I just let my body cool myself down with the sweat that it produces, and I really don't mind it at all until maybe it starts sweating all over my freaking keyboard and mouse. And by that point, I just decided, yo, maybe I should stop streaming and and take a shower, maybe. In other words, I think I might be able to work in a sauna if I had the choice to do so. Very cool things happening. I guess the other reason why I am so used to the hot humidity here, it's because back then I also am I can't say this without feeling like I'm lying, but back then I used to work out with my family. And what we would do every morning is that we would wake up at around 4 a.m. to 5 a.m. in the morning and go to the local cemetery and just do a bunch of rounds there. And by rounds, I mean, you know, do a bunch of, you know, we run 5 kilometers, 10 kilometers sometimes, even 20 if we are really feeling it. And then when we were done, we would do these. We would sometimes go back home and work out via this homemade gym we made ourselves, which consisted of a bunch of barbells we brought from Decathlon, a treadmill, what else? Like, we also got this special gym equipment that gives us the ability to do sit-ups much easier. It's like a seat that you can hook your legs onto, and in a way it makes your sit-ups much more efficient. It was a very, you know, it was a very active time in my life. And remember that even if things were getting so hot to a point that my little kid body starts perspiring, my dad would be like, nah, this is kitty shit. These kitty shit temperatures. You can work out. You can run 20 kilometers in the hot sun. That won't really affect your your body at the end of the day. And you know, at first I thought it was ridiculous, but I came to sort of like the hot weather in a way. Well, you know, after doing all these workouts with my dad, and, you know, running 15 to 20 kilometers while it's high noon, I started to appreciate just working out in hot weather. Because I don't know why, but every time after I work out, after I work out, and that workout has me running in a sunny day, I always feel like this sense of relief. Because I don't know, I think the vitamin D of the sun is really doing shit with my skin, you know, to the point that whenever I finally enter a shade after a long workout, I would just feel so relaxed, like I'm in a state of constant relaxation. And I guess that's why people do sunbathing sometimes whenever they go to the beach. Like there's this sort of effect that the sun does to your body whenever you stay in the hot sun for a couple of minutes or hours at a time. Of course, I'm not saying that you should let the sun consume you. Like I know there's some skin disorders you can get if you stay in the sun for too long. But it's if you manage your time with the sun, you start to get to sort of feel this drowsy feeling that you just can't get if you just stay in your room all day. It's relaxing in a way. Am I being a masochist by saying to people that the sun, that the scorching heat of the sun is you know, it turns me on in a way? I guess so. I guess if that's what it takes to be a masochist, then sure, I am a masochist. But it's relaxing in a way. And right now I don't think I do that much those types of workouts anymore, because you know, I'm not really as active as I am when I was a kid. But you know, I sometimes yearn for those days when I would run in the hot heat and just feel so. I feel like in this karmic state after a sunny workout. You know, it's relaxing. Of course, that's not to say that I never got injuries from working out in the sun. I remember back then, the longest run I've ever did was a 32-kilometer run in the mountains of, I think, Laguna, I think. Yeah, I did like a run with my family once, and it was the longest I've ever ran. It's 32 kilometers in a road in Laguna. And this road consisted of many steep inclines and caves and passageways that, you know, it's very interesting now that I'm retelling the story. But I remember it took me like I think 5 hours to complete this run, and by the time I'm already in the last few kilometers of this race, I can feel my skin like peeling off a little bit, you know. Because my skin, I used to be like a very white looking guy when I was a kid, but after this run I felt like I felt my skin getting a little bit darker, a bit more tanned. Then it started getting too tanned to a point that and after the race, my skin started flaking like a lot, you know. Because it's not my light skin isn't so used to staying in the sun that much. and I asked my dad, hey, is this normal for me for my skin to be flaking as much? And my dad was like, "Yeah, this is normal, my son. Just don't think about it that much." And, I trusted my dad because he was like a dentist, and in a way that means that he's a medical professional. So I thought, okay, this must be a normal thing for me to experience. But then, after a few days, I noticed that my skin was still flaking a lot. To the point that if I were to like rub my arm, like just a little bit, it would start to create a bunch of skin dust through my action, because my skin still hasn't recovered from the events that happened a few days ago. And my dad's like, "Yo, stop rubbing your freaking skin. Just don't do that." And I'm like, okay, I'll not do it. So yeah, I don't think that was normal. But eventually my skin did heal itself. But in the end, after that experience, I think I now have like a permanent tan to my arms and legs. Even up to now. It's only when I think take off my pants or my shirt that I get to see the remnants of my once light skin in front of not really people, but to myself, I guess. I'm not showing people my freaking bare skin. That's weird. But yeah, that was a cool experience, I guess. But funnily enough, the worst skin experience I had was when I did a swim race with my brothers, wherein we swam for around 15 kilometers in a place called Caramoan in the Philippines. And my dad was really into us getting into swim races after a long journey of us doing a lot of run races for the past couple of days, past couple of years. And I agreed that we should probably do some swim races because I'm sort of getting a little bit tired of doing all these runs every now and then. I wanted to do something new, and I thought that swimming could be a good avenue for me to experience something new while still training my body to burn calories and shit. So I got into open water races. I mean, we first started off with some pool races. I attended a bunch of aquathlons with my brother. We did swim races and aquathlons. And aquathlons, by the way, is just triathlon minus biking. So it's just we start off with a swim around the pool, and then we transition towards a run race by the end of the aquathlon, and that's how basically an aquathlon works. And from there, we moved on to doing open water races with my brothers. I mean, I think it was me first who experienced open water races because I'm the eldest of the family. Eventually, my dad told me to teach my little brothers how to swim like me, and I'm like, okay, I can do that. Anyway, my younger brother is already really into run races to a point that he's basically much more athletic than me. So I thought to myself, okay, this could not be this not gonna be that hard of a task to teach my brothers how to swim. And eventually they did learn how to swim, and it came to a point that we started training for a 15-kilometer race at Karamoan. And we were really getting ready for this race. Like, I'm talking about sessions where we would just swim all day at the local pool at our barangay. Like, we would swim from, I think, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. in the afternoon. Like, it was like my dad wasn't really slowing down in terms of the workouts we were getting. So eventually we finally got into doing the Karamoan race. And you know, we started swimming. Since it's a 15-kilometer race, we were like island hopping from one island to another. It was wild. I couldn't. The only proof I have of this event is through photos I have in Facebook that shows my face. So I can't really show you guys the evidence of me doing all of this. So might as well just take my my story with a grain of salt. But yeah, we did the freaking 15-kilometer race. I think we also was it my little brother? Yeah, my little brother got a podium finish for that race in terms of the age category that he's in. And you might be thinking to yourself, "Yo, your freaking brother got a podium finish?" And I'm like, yeah, he got a podium finish. Of course he'll get a podium finish. It's especially for a race wherein it is, you know, you're gonna be swimming 15 kilometers. You're guaranteed to have a podium finish, because who the heck is going to what kind of kid is going to swim 15 kilometers during his off time? Like, freaking, I don't know. Who's gonna do that? So he's guaranteed to at least get a podium finish from his age category, because heck, he's still a kid, and no other kid is doing his shit. So of course he's gonna get a podium finish. And by little brother, I mean my two little brothers. I think they got second and first place for that race. I think my youngest brother got the what's it called, the first place, the first place podium finish, while my second youngest got the runner-up trophy. And since I was already like outside the age category that they're in, I think I got like a bronze medal for the 18 to 24 category in the race, which is wild. But I didn't think I thought too much about it, because I think for most of my races I always get the podium finish for these types of swim races, because no one's really into open water swimming. Because I don't know, maybe people are just very afraid of the open sea and think to themselves, yo, are there sharks or jellyfishes or snakes that you might see if you're in the open sea? And to that I say, there's no sharks. I haven't encountered any sharks yet when I'm in the open water. But I did encounter a jellyfish swarm once. And what I did was just brave through it, I guess. Snakes, I don't think there are any snakes I've encountered. There are some stories of open water swimmers encountering snakes here in the Philippines, but I never really found those when I swam back in the day. But jellyfishes, oh my god, my first ever open water swim in Karma 1, which was this 7-kilometer swim. Even though it was short, I did encounter a jellyfish field during the first leg of that race, and I was so scared. And even up to now, I feel like I'm a bit traumatized by that event of getting all these jellyfishes around me. I still remember though whenever I'm doing my freestyle strokes at that first leg of the race, and I felt the head of the jellyfish right at the palm of my hand. I'm like, oh my god, this feels I'm gonna die, and you know, luckily I didn't get stung. I didn't get stung by that event, and I braved through it, and I got podium finish from that. I got a runner-up medal from that first race. But it was a very fun experience for me. But going back to the skin stuff that I've been talking about early on in this stream, I did notice that every time I do these open water races, I always experience like chaffing below my armpits and in my joints. And I don't know how that happens, but I think the reason why that happens because I think there's some sort of bacteria in the sea that is causing my skin to experience chaffing. I think I don't know if it's bacteria or if it's the sun that's getting me all these skin disorders whenever I do these open water races. But it was really uncomfortable during these times. The fact that I get these little bruises on my joints every time I swim. And there was this one time when I swam in Palawan, which is this island in the Philippines, which is basically just the arm of our country, of our human-shaped country. I remember we swam in Palawan and we had to go to this. The route consisted of us swimming 4 laps around this bay area in Puerto Princesa, and in that event, the freaking bay area felt really dirty. Like I said, when I started swimming on that freaking bay area, I accidentally swallowed a bunch of dirty water. And this water, by the way, when I was swimming through it, there were a bunch of bottles and trash floating around. And by the time I got out of this freaking this bay area after my swim race, I felt like I feel like I should be in a a secluded area, because I felt very radioactive after that swim. To a point that by the time they called me for the podium, the podium award. Yes, of course I would get a podium award. I'm in an age category wherein not all kids are swimming in the open sea. But so by the time I got the freaking podium swimmers, I was like, okay, let me just get this. I wanna rest after this, because I feel like the Incredible Hulk, except not the Incredible Hulk. Just think of Incredible Hulk, but without all the muscles and just the radioactive disease that he gets from it. You know, it's a very uncomfortable thing to experience when you're when you're in that sort of situation. But yeah, let me just quickly make the stroke here. By the way, I don't know if I mentioned this, but yeah, I've been swimming since I think when I was 15 years old. I started swimming my first ever open water race when I was 15 years old in a place called Pico de Loro. That was my first ever swim race, and surprisingly, I didn't get a podium finish from that. I got like 4th place overall, and they didn't have any age category for that, so I didn't really get a medal from my first ever open water race. And you might wonder, how was I able to get 4th place overall? Well, it was in a, because when you're attending these open water races, usually the people who are attending this are usually, you know, hardcore swimmers, and when you're into hardcore swimming like these people, you'd rather attend like the higher you'd rather attend the races wherein they give you more distance to cover. And in this particular race, I think they not only did they have a 1.5k race, they also had like a 3k and a 5k race to join. But I decided to, well, my dad decided that we would just attend the 1.5k race, and in the 1.5 category, not much strong swimmers are in the roster, so it really gave me room to, you know, to get a 4th place in the final leg of the race. And that's how I got into freaking open water. After that experience, my dad thought that I have this potential in me to work my arms and do more swimming. Excuse me. And from there, it was all game. We attended this series of events called the Swim Junkie open water races, which includes a series of events wherein we swam in places like the Verde Island Passage, El Nido, and of course Carmoan. Carmoan is, by the way, the Swim Junkie open water race that I attended with my brothers and my brothers, I mean. Not my sisters. My sisters didn't really get into open water because my dad just thought that it's too unsafe for them. So my dad would rather just have them, you know, run in solid land than to have them be swimming in the race. Hold on, what the frick is happening here? And I was there since the inception of Swim Junkie. Back then, Swim Junkie was only hosting for the longest distance, they were only hosting an event for a 7k race, but it eventually spiraled out of control to a point that we were now doing like 15-kilometer races by the end of my swimming career, I guess. I say career, but I didn't really earn that much money from it. I mean, there were some prize money to be earned when you attend these races, but not that much, I'd say. But yeah, it's a very fun time to look back on. But that's not to say I wanna get back into it, because, you know, things change. I'm already now in college. I want to focus more on getting to know how to earn money, and I don't think being an athlete really gives you that ability to, you know, earn money. I mean, I do still appreciate what my swim races and my run races taught me. Like, I think because of my experience in exercising, I now have this high tolerance whenever I do something much more easier, like studying and sitting down in class and listening to my teacher talk for a couple of hours, because I would just go back to my freaking training and think to myself, yo, Morgan Ozpin, has experienced something much more harder than this. So I believe that I can get myself through with this if I'm able to do 15 kilometers when I was a little boy. How hard can dentistry or blender be if I didn't if I'm able to do this much if I'm able to do this much back in the day? I guess that's why I'm very adamant in terms of learning new things here in this channel. I just have the training to tolerate not understanding a lot of shit, and being more tolerable to being in uncomfortable situations, like not knowing how Blender's user interface works, or not knowing how to get started in learning programming languages like JavaScript or HTML and CSS. Oh, I forgot to draw a hand there. Alright, let me just freaking draw the hand here. Dang, I did say that I felt like going to the washroom, but now that I'm so far into this, I think I have now the will to make another frame here. Alright. Speaking of learning HTML and CSS and Blender itself, something that no one really teaches, something that no one really teaches us about life is that learning new things really takes a lot of energy in your body. And I'm not talking about like hypothetical or metaphorical energy. Like I'm not like making a sort of figure of speech out of what I'm saying. I'm talking about actual like energy to learn new things. Because I noticed that whenever I start a new expedition, I guess, towards a new hobby like computer programming, I noticed that I get tired a lot whenever I start a tutorial by Brocode on HTML and CSS, and I think to myself, yo, this feels so tiring to watch. Will I ever get through this and learn actual shit? I mean, it's not the fault of the tutorial guy in question or the resource that I'm consuming. It's just it's me, I guess, that I realize is the problem. Because by the time I start rewatching these old tutorials that I once thought were hard and energy consuming for me, I noticed that it's it's not that much of a hard thing to go through. And I thought to myself, wow, why is something so energy draining now so easy to consume? And I realized that in a way, learning new things really takes a lot of energy, like physical energy for you to to go through. Because I don't think anyone really noticed this, but technically your brain is a muscle that you have to train, and we don't really. I didn't really understood that until I learned new things from my course and my ongoings I have on my YouTube channel. It's very it's you need to actually take care of your body when you're learning new things, because it actually does drain your energy. And that's why when you look at like self-help gurus in the internet and on YouTube, they always say, aside from doing all these of changing your mindset on different problems, they always say that you should also go ahead and actually do some exercise or eat more nutritious food, because mental energy is still energy at the end of the day, and you need to train your body to handle more complicated actions like learning new things, or learning a new computer programming language, or in my case I'm now learning how to do a cavity preparation at school, and I noticed how tiring it was to slog through the learning process of it. But now that I'm now that I'm more familiar with learning how to do cavity preparations, I realized that I need to really take care of my body to learn new things. And that's why this morning I started doing a bunch of. That's why this morning I did I ran outside. I biked. I basically did like a reverse duathlon. Duathlon is that, I think, the right term for it, which is a race, a kind of race wherein you start off running, then biking, then running once again. I think that's what duathlons are, right? But in my case, what I did was I started biking first, because biking, to my knowledge, is much easier of a warm-up exercise than a full-on running workout. Then I did a little bit of some running. I did a few rounds in around a local school nearby. Then I biked once again to get back home. It's I think a good way for you guys to, a good way for me, it is for me to train my body for more things, and yeah, that's you guys just need to take care of your body whenever you learn new things. Aside from that, I'm also trying to restrict my diet. Back then I used to just strict. I used to eat a lot of rice, like a lot of rice. I'm really consuming all those monosaccharides whenever my mom cooks a plate of, I don't know, something like corned beef or adobo. I would always be the one to consume most of the rice in the rice cooker. But now I'm restricting myself to only one plate of rice per meal. And that's been helping me a lot in getting my shit together. Because I realized that you don't really need that much nutrition in your body, like carbohydrates or vitamins and minerals to help you in your daily routine. Because here's a lesson I've learned from my teachings from the lessons I've learned in nutrition in dentistry, which is a subject in my college course. You don't really need that much vitamins in reality, you know. I would say some people in the internet would say, yo, consume this much vitamin B or vitamin C to make yourself more immune to diseases or get yourself more energized and shit. But really, if you're not, but in reality, if you're not gonna be using those nutrients at the end of the day on things like going outside, walking or running or biking, those things would just slowly kill your body in the end if you're not careful. So that's why I'm now restricting my diet to just one plate of rice. Of course, I know that not eating as much is also detrimental to your health. So, and all I'm saying is that I'm trying to keep my eating habits in moderation. Not too much, not too little. We're trying to hit that middle sweet spot in terms of making healthy choices for my body. And I would like to say that I also want to try to fix my sleep schedule, but but shit, I don't think my sleep schedule is still as fixed as I would want it to be. I still catch myself sleeping very late at night, and I try to get myself to sleep by okay, here's a fun fact about myself, because right here on my room I have a smart TV with a YouTube Premium membership by my mom. So I thought to myself about how I can start sleeping more often, and I thought to myself, wait, in YouTube they have this thing called ambient music that I can listen to get myself to sleep. So I turned up I looked up a well, I guess a live stream, but more so videos of a bunch of ambient and study music that I can listen to while I sleep. And at first I pulled up Lo-Fi Girl or that famous study girl stream, wherein you see an anime girl inspired by Studio Ghibli's Whisper of the Heart studying for an infinite amount of time while ambient music plays in the background. And I thought, okay, this could be a good start to getting myself to sleep. But I noticed that it isn't really helping that much. Getting this ambient music to get me to sleep. I'm like, fuck it, this ain't working. What should I do? So I looked up more ambient music on YouTube to get myself to sleep. And then I stumbled upon get this, I stumbled upon an ambient music video that's around like 6 hours long. But the special thing about this freaking ambient music video is that it is more themed towards the soundtrack of Minecraft. And I thought to myself, whoa, Minecraft, that's damn, I haven't heard of Minecraft since, I don't know, since I've started watching Sunday on YouTube back in 2016. Or Captain Sparkles and his freaking Mayanite series. Maybe this won't work, but I will appreciate the nostalgic factor that Minecraft has in my life. So I decided that during one night that I would pull up Minecraft as my ambient music playlist of choice on YouTube. I searched up a Minecraft ambient music video, and I found one that's like 8 hours long. 8 hours, that's basically the right amount of time you need to get yourself to sleep. I mean, the right amount of time for you to, right length for you to sleep, I mean. So I got that playing on my YouTube TV. And I don't know what happened, but once the freaking, I don't know, Sweden started playing in the background, I was my freaking body just dropped dead on the bed. I was like, no, I started freaking just started snoring and enjoying the sleep I had. I don't know what is it with Minecraft with and my freaking nocturnal cycle of sleeping. But for some reason the Minecraft soundtrack is just too relaxing for my body to handle, to a point that it would just drop me to sleep whenever they play freaking Sweden on the background. Like C418 really did master the art of ambient music, and no other ambient music creator has really pulled the heights that this creator did with this one video game. But yeah, the Minecraft soundtrack was really good. Not only has ambient music, but also has like little things I would listen to while I work on stuff in the background. Because sometimes whenever I, work on my animations offline, I would just pull up C418's Cat, which is a Minecraft music disc that you can find in the game. I found that when I was playing like a Windows 10 edition of Minecraft, and I stumbled upon a dungeon that had, of course, the C418's Cat, the music disc that I'm talking about right now. So I played Cat for the first time with a music box that I created with this one diamond I found. And something about Cat really makes me nostalgic about my my teenage and childhood years. I don't know why. It's like something that it's only a track that I've only discovered when I was around 17 or 16 years old. But whenever freaking Cat plays in the background, I just get reminded of all the simple times I once had when I used to just worry about what would I do during my homeschooling program, or what I would do during my times when I still used this YouTube channel as a way for me to play Minecraft and shit. Freaking Cat is... I guess just go listen to Cat, guys. C418's Cat. Go search that up on YouTube. It's not a very loud music composition, but it's so whimsical and relaxing to listen to that I actually used that once as a background music for a graduation video I made for my high school, because back then I was in a homeschooling program. But every now and then we would have these ceremonies at the end of the year to celebrate our graduations. And for my final year in my homeschooling program, I was tasked to do a graduation video for all of my classmates, and I thought to myself, well, what can I use as a graduation video? So I decided to compile a bunch of photos, a bunch of videos of the things we did during my grade 12 classes, from the events we did there to the outreach programs we did in the homeschooling program. And while that's playing, I decided to put up C418's Cat in the end of I decided to play C418's Cat in the background. And my god, that freaking soundtrack really fits the mood. If you wanna just remember of something in the past that you really cherish and love, you just pull up C418's Cat. It just, for some reason, fits the mood quite well. In fact, I think I can just play it to you guys in the background if I could. Let me see. Actually, no. I don't think I can do it right now. I don't know if C418 is really that copyright sensitive to people playing his soundtrack, so maybe I'll not risk it. But yeah, C418's Cat is I think the magnum opus of the Minecraft soundtrack, and that sort of inspired me to make music around or inspired by Cat. And that's how I made this one soundtrack I made for my album Medical Students called First Patient. If you're wondering why it feels more like a video gamey sounding composition, First Patient, why First Patient feels more video gamey in its sound, it's because I wanted to make something that feels like C418's style, and looking back, maybe I didn't really mimic his style that well, but I don't know, it's mostly because freaking C418 is just a genius in terms of musical composition. Anyway, let's just make the chair here like that. One here. Oof. Alright, let me just sit down real quickly here. Freaking legs are still hurting from my exercise this morning. Ugh. Okay. I think this will be like maybe the last stream I'll work on for this stream before I end the stream entirely. So what can we talk about after this? Okay, guys. For you guys who are into my Harvest Moon streams, I will eventually do those streams. I think next week, maybe. I don't know. I wanna focus more on working on shit that's not gaming related for now. But maybe on next Thursday I might have time to work on setting up a live stream for my Harvest Moon streams, because I do want to get back into the game at some point. Because I sort of like took a break from playing Harvest Moon since my last stream of it. Now that I have this free time, I might be able to get back into it. So let's see what we can do about that. I also want to complete my Harvest Moon Peat 3D model that I started working on since a few weeks ago. I just had to finish it off by adding some background assets to it, and then maybe we can make an animation with it. Probably, I'm not sure. I already have like a bunch of. I already have this animation to worry about. I don't wanna worry myself by including another one in my resume of things to do. What else? Oh yeah, and just to remind you guys, the freaking coding stream, the coding video is still gonna be released in a few weeks on my YouTube channel, and it's gonna be released early on my Ko-Fi page. So if you guys want to see that, you can donate $5 to my Ko-Fi page for that. If you want to see that, if you want to get early access to that video. Again, it's not available yet, but it will be available on my Ko-Fi. Maybe by Sunday, I think. I'm already like around 26 minutes into the video out of a 30-minute recording, so I think I might be able to finish it by the end of tomorrow, maybe. All right. Anyway, okay, there we go. For some reason, my mind is now going back towards the time I shared. I mean, I did a live stream of my dental math class in front of everyone. I have to wonder though, now I'm wondering, does my classmates know that I'm streaming in the vanilla log? Or that I am Morgan Ozpin, now that I've showed them the fact that I know how to run OBS on my computer. Because I really tried really hard to make sure that the elements I use for my live streams are not shown when I do my dent mat, when I did my dent materials live stream. But I think I've accidentally showed my YouTube studio in front of the class at some point during the stream, and I think it sort of showed them my videos I make for my second channel, I think. I'm not sure. I mean, it's a good thing my second channel isn't really that active compared to my my main channel, but my god. Imagine what will happen if they figure out that I'm a VTuber working on 3D animations, computer programs, and music on my YouTube channel here. All right. I guess I could have I guess I can just say that it's not me. I mean, who the fuck would believe that I, a dentistry student, would understand, would be the same person that would be the wizard in your screen, working on Blender animations, LLMS, music compositions, and NeoCities websites on the internet. That feels like a conclusion that you would only get into if you are really drugged up or are smoking weed on one night or something. Like, no one will believe. I don't think anyone would believe me if I don't even if I were to say, hey, I'm a wizard that makes animations, 3D art, and VTuber models and websites on the internet for fun. Like, if I'm gonna say that in front of my classmates without any context, I don't think they would really think that much of it, because it's just such a ridiculous thing to to say from a normie point of view. So I don't know. It's like I guess it's like the same sort of experience you get whenever you try to summarize JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. You could say, "Hey, did you know that in the freaking JoJo anime, it started off as this as these two guys fighting each other to the death, wherein one guy's a vampire and the other is a guy that has this ability to channel energy out of his breathing techniques, but then it all spiraled into a story about a guy in the Americas riding a horse, wherein his power is to spawn a person from the air, while there's this other antagonist who is also the parallel universe counterpart to the main antagonist from the very first part, except this one has the ability to spawn dinosaurs in order for him to get the bodies of Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's JoJo's yeah, that's the JoJo anime for you in a nutshell. It's ridiculous, and I think that's the same sort of shit that this is. I think the same sort of reaction would be garnered if I told people that about myself on my YouTube channel. Anyway, let me just make all these strokes here. Oof, alright. I just noticed that after all these hours I spent on my live stream, I didn't really spend much on talking about wrestling. Since it's the title of the video, I might as well talk about wrestling to you guys. Have you guys seen the Elimination Chamber match? Oh my god, John Cena turned heel! Oh shit! By the way, spoilers alert if you guys haven't watched the Elimination Chamber match against a bunch of people in WWE. Holy shit, I didn't know John Cena can turn up into a bad guy. What the fuck? So if you guys don't know, I think if you guys are out of the loop in terms of the wrestling landscape right now, John Cena is a popular meme back in the day that's also a wrestler that always seems to be the good guy in every storyline that he partakes in. From his fights against a Russian brute called Rusev, to his fights against Edge, to even his fights against CM Punk, he has always been the good guy for the longest time. Ever since his debut in, I guess, 2002. But I think he started off as a heel in his debut, but I think somewhere around the mid 2000s or early 2010s, he was always the good guy in most storylines. John Cena. Because, you know, Vince is really believes in the idea that one of his wrestlers should at least be a constant lawful good throughout their run and in the company. And, you know, John Cena just fits that mold really well. But people grew tired of the gimmick, of John Cena's gimmick of always being the good guy. There was this one time wherein where it was like WrestleMania 30, a big event in the wrestling landscape, wherein the most anticipated matches gets to be seen all in one night. And in one of the matches, it was John Cena against a supernatural being, I guess, called Bray Wyatt. And people were expecting a win from Bray Wyatt because he's a newcomer into the company, and what's a good way to greet a new acting wrestler in the company than to have him score a win against maybe one of the best stars in the WWE, which is John Cena. But that didn't happen. He didn't win the freaking title match. I mean the match against John Cena. John Cena was, even though Bray Wyatt is a heel, people still wanted him to win because people believe that it's sort of good for his career and good for the company in general to get Bray Wyatt up on top, because he can be like a good antagonist against another good protagonist later down the line. But because John Cena defeated this guy in one fell swoop, people think that you know, WWE is really wasting their resources by relying on this one guy to carry the company throughout the entire length of its runtime. So people started hating on John Cena, you know, and it didn't help also that John Cena was also winning most of his matches during the early half of 2010. Like people called him Super Cena throughout the majority of the 2010s because of just how many matches he's winning. So people just couldn't help the fact that he's still a good guy. He's still winning matches, and he's still being, you know, being really promoted into the company that is WWE. So people started hating on John Cena. And even when, you know, even if, you know, John Cena started losing matches throughout the early or the late half of the 2010s and the early start of the 2020s, people still hated on him because still kind of hated on him because, you know, he's still being promoted as the good guy in the company, and therefore is still being, you know, people are just getting tired of his gimmick by being the good guy throughout most of his storylines. And, you know, people thought that it's gonna be all there is to John Cena, and heck, people are now starting to respect the guy for staying as the face of most of his matches. You know, something about that feels very inspiring. The fact that there's this one guy that even through thick and thin, he is still the morally good person of the company by the end of the day. And that worked all the way up to his road to his retirement, which will happen at around WrestleMania of this year, which is March, I think. Yeah, so yeah, March would be John Cena's last match, I think. I don't know, it depends on who's gonna win it. But after a long losing streak between a bunch of people, John Cena finally won a match against a bunch of people in the Elimination Chamber of this year. He defeated CM Punk, an old rival of his. And the way the Elimination Chamber match ended was very weird, because the way John Cena won was by Seth Rollins, another wrestler, performing a curb stomp against CM Punk, which is the last wrestler of the Elimination Chamber. So Seth Rollins did the curb stomp against CM Punk, and John Cena decided to take advantage of that incident and went for the what's it called? Like he tried to make CM Punk tap out through this move that I'm forgetting for some reason. But eventually, CM Punk didn't tap out, but instead fainted. And in a way, because CM Punk can no longer participate in the match, John Cena won, which is fire, I guess. because the way it's framed is that it feels like as if John Cena cheated in the Elimination Chamber match, which is not good. That didn't feel like a very John Cena thing to do. John Cena is the good guy. Why would he be cheating in said match? I mean, technically it was Seth Rollins who performed the curb stomp, and it wasn't really, you know, John Cena's plan to do that. But, you know, it still kind of felt unearned for John Cena to do this, to take advantage of this one incident in the match. So I thought, okay, maybe this might be a very heelish thing for John Cena to do, but in the end, he does still feel like the good guy. I mean, he didn't really plan for this to happen, and, you know, the guy's just doing, it's just being on the ride for what's natural to happen during the match. So the Elimination Chamber match ended, and that meant that John Cena is now going to be main eventing WrestleMania to win the title against Cody Rhodes in WrestleMania 41. things were looking up, and before the event ended, there was this promo shoot between The Rock, Cody Rhodes, and John Cena. So John Cena and Cody Rhodes are the two main participants of the main event of night 2 of WrestleMania, I think. And people are wondering, okay, this could be... I don't think John Cena would turn heel, but Cody Rhodes could turn heel, because here's the thing, guys. When you want to watch a wrestling match, you want to make sure that one of the participants of the match would turn heel at least, because those are the ones that really, you know, draw people's attention towards. I mean, there are some exceptions wherein two guys are like the face or the heel of the match, like when it came to this one match in AEW between Maxwell Jacob Friedman and Adam Cole. That was a match against two faces, and it was a very entertaining thing to watch. But in the WWE, there's really not much room for a face versus face match, so someone had to turn heel for this match to happen. And we thought that it was going to be Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes was being framed for the longest time to be a rising champion throughout the entirety of his time span here in WWE. So I thought that he's going to be doing the heel turn, and you know, it will sort of feel much... makes sense, I guess, for Cody Rhodes to turn heel. And I thought that Cody Rhodes was going to turn heel, because ever since his return to the company in WrestleMania 38, he was always like the good guy, and you know, it could be a nice change of pace for Cody Rhodes to be a heel for once. But then, you know, because during the promotion of this match, The Rock was also trying to get Cody Rhodes to sign a deal with him wherein the People's Champion, Cody Rhodes, would work with The Rock to, you know, to be the best team there is in this company. And he's talking about business deals, corporate stuff that people don't really like. It's happening in story, by the way. It's not really a real thing. I think I need to explain once again that wrestling is fake. So, but they do try to make it as realistic as possible by including, you know, the hate that people have in terms of these billion-dollar companies profiting from a lot of shit. So Cody Rhodes was like listening to this deal between The Rock where he would get all these multi-billion-dollar cars and houses and shit if he joins The Rock and shit. And you know, it feels like a very scummy thing for The Rock to do. He's now being, you know, he's definitely the freaking heel of this entire promotion that they're doing after the Elimination Chamber match. And Cody was like, okay, I'm listening to you, but fuck you, freaking The Rock. Fuck you, Dwayne. I don't want to listen to your shit. I want to stay as the face and do the main event without you. And that's gonna be the storyline moving forward to WrestleMania 41. And The Rock is like, okay, that's cool. And then, you know, John Cena was also there, and he was like, yo, freaking Cody Rhodes, congratulations, you're doing that. You made the right decision. The right decision to really kick your ass. And and then all of a sudden, the freaking John Cena went for the punt kick to the balls of the balls. I think the shin. I think the balls of Cody Rhodes. And they started freaking beating the crap out of Cody Rhodes. Like, what the fuck? And And now it's no longer a question whether John Cena is a heel or not. John Cena now is definitely a heel because caught in 4K, he started freaking beating the shit out of Cody Rhodes to a point that he started bleeding in the freaking ring. He did he get a belt, I think, or was it The Rock? That whipped Cody Rhodes with a belt. Or was it Travis Scott? But yeah, the freaking John Cena started beating the shit out of Cody Rhodes as if he is a rag doll. And you know, Cody Rhodes was just being so perplexed by the situation because fuck, who the freak expects for John Cena to turn heel in a match like this? So anyway, John Cena turned heel. Everyone was surprised. The freaking Make-A-Wish kids are surprised as well. And everyone is now anticipating what the next few weeks would be in leading up to WrestleMania. Because my god, the one thing that happened before GTA 6 is the fact that John Cena turned heel. Holy shit, that was... It's you guys don't know how... You guys need to know how important this is, or how much of a creative writing move this is for the people behind WWE. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's wrestling. Oh my god. AEW must be shitting their pants right now because I don't think they would be able to come up with this sort of storyline in their company. Not saying that I favor any company in this situation, but you know, right now I definitely think that the WWE is having the better storylines compared to AEW or TNA. Although it's, I guess, a good move for TNA to partner with NXT to help promote their company. But nothing beats the heel turn that John Cena did in the Elimination Chamber. Anyway, let me just make these strokes here. I also need to make a few different strokes here. Frick. I don't know if my mic is picking this up, but someone is screaming outside my window. It's like going ah, like as if he's going for a Kamehameha or something. Anyway, we're almost done with this one frame, and I think I'm gonna end stream after this. Ooh boy. Dang, we talked about wrestling, we talked about learning new shit and how it drains your energy levels. We talked about freaking live streaming a class in front of everyone and getting praised for it. We talked about 100 years of dentistry from my college. Like, oh my god, we talked so much shit today. For first-time viewers of my channel, I don't think this is gonna be a reoccurring thing wherein I talk a lot in my live streams. The only reason why I'm able to talk so much, I guess, today is because I took a break from my live streaming duties, and a lot of things happened during my break, so I just decided to talk about it here on stream, while also talking about all the things I've learned this past few weeks. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Okay, let me just see how this looks so far. Alright. Oh, I forgot to draw the freaking legs. Oh my god. Let's get the legs out of the way. By the way, guys, I noticed that when I took a break from streaming, that the pen nib of my tablet was broken for the longest time. To the point that the point of my pen nib was already like very flat. And I thought to myself, oh, that's the reason why whenever I stroke, it felt like a little bit more jittery than I would expect it to be. So I brought a bunch of pen nibs during my break, and I guess that's the reason why I didn't stream that often. It's because I didn't want to work with devices that isn't in its full capacity to work. So I ordered a bunch of Huion pen nibs from China, because most of the online shopping items I get here in the Philippines are usually from China. So I bought those pen nibs, and now I have 20 spare nibs in case this one breaks once more. And it didn't really cost that much money. It only costed like 157 pesos to get these pen nibs, which are only by US conversion rate, that's around $3 for 20 pieces of pen nibs. So I think this can last me like a couple of years, I guess. I mean, how often is it that the pen nibs of my tablet breaks? I think it really breaks that often. Anyway, let me just quickly let me just thicken up my lines. Alright. Alright, let me just crease this. Alright. Alright. Okay, with that being done, I might as well end the stream. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys like what you see, be sure to like and subscribe. I'm gonna go ahead and prepare for dinner. I hope you guys enjoyed the recent Just Chatting stream here. I think I'll turn these animation grease pencil streams into a place for me to just rant about things I do off the side. You know, just like a Just Chatting stream, but with the added benefit of you guys seeing how I work in Blender. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Morgan Ozpin. Now go read a book. Bye-bye. Bye.